Hello, my loyal subjects. It is I, Lord Pyro, and welcome to the pilot of Sequel Deathmatch, the show where video games go to fight to the death. So let's have ourselves a little talk about today's game. A lot of you know it pretty well, and a lot of you are probably going to burn me on the internet if I say anything bad about it. Oh, if I say anything bad about your precious FNAF. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room right now. So, if you want to play a game that got way too huge, way too fast, play this fucking thing. Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at fucking Freddy's. An indie horror strategy puzzle game thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. It came out in 2014 and had 3 sequels within the same year-long period. Yeah, I don't know how he did it either. I don't even know why I'm explaining it. Everyone and their mother knows what this fucking game is. But then you're all probably like, what's this stupid video for, nerd? I'll just go watch something else. But wait! You're gonna love this. Or not, I don't know. The first game came out August 8th, 2014. Yes, this game is already like 2 years old. Probably older by the time you're seeing this. The second game came out just over 3 months later, November 10th, 2014. FNAF 3 hit Steam March 2nd, 2015. And FNAF 4 The Final Chapter came out July 23rd, 2015. And apparently there's some other social location shit that's going down this fall. This fall? Yeah, I'm so sure. Fucking Scott, you troll. But which one is better? Well, I'll tell ya. And remember that this is a little bit opinionated, so keep an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, then you might want to not be here, because I don't have time for you and your shit. If you think one is better than the other one, cool. But we're going to put them all together against each other in a fight to the death. This is Sequel Deathmatch. Okay, do I even need to get into this shit? The story of the first game makes no fucking sense. I'm not going to go into any depth because I don't want this video to be like 40 minutes long. And I don't want to worry about missing shit or leaving something out or some other stupid bull crap. Now this purple guy, purple Freddy, gold and this, gold and that, nightmare this, 2020. Fuck that shit. We're going with the bare bones story of the first game and how it relates to you as a player. So in the first game, you're playing as some poor sucker who lost a bet or really needs $120 to save his family from abduction or something. So you decide to get hired as a night watchman at a failing pizzeria, playhouse, Chuck E. Cheese thing. Sounds easy, right? No. Nah, it's actually kind of bullshit, because there are these maniacal animatronic fuckers that are programmed to walk around and kill the shit out of whatever they see. Particularly you. Actually, they only seem to care about you, so yeah. Good luck. So you sit around for 5 nights, and overtime if you're down for that, close doors, and screw around with lights. No, really, that's it. It doesn't sound like fun? Well, that's because it isn't. It's fun to watch, I guess, but that's a story for another time. But why are you walking around? Watch the game theory, because I'm not explaining it here. I don't have time for that. Just know that it makes no sense and things overlap each other constantly. And trying to put this story together effectively is like trying to play an Xbox 360 game with a PlayStation 4 controller. FNAF 1 story, that's worth a whole 2 points. The second game? It's pretty much the same thing. 9 watchmen, you're hired, and now you're fucked. 5 nights, 10 animatronics, 10 different ways for you to die. Seems like they want to try to clear up some of the mysteries of the first game's story. How does it do that? Breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, and some more breadcrumbs. It's not that serious, man. Just give me the whole damn loaf. Jesus Christ, fuck you. 2 points. The third game shakes things up a little bit. And by a little bit, I actually mean just a little bit. There's one dude and a bunch of other phantom things fucking around with you. Except you don't even get a check at the end, which is kind of bullshit. You also find out that the purple guy is the one who's been stalking you for this entire game. And bad ending. Then you have to go through again and do a whole bunch of dumb shit. Real quick, I just want to say how legitimately impressed I am with some of you who dissected this game and its Easter eggs within hours of this thing coming out. But all it really does is set the children's souls free from the animatronics, which is nice, I guess. It's not worth all that trouble, though. That's worth a whole 5. And the fourth one, you're a kid having nightmares after you got bitten by an animatronic and hospitalized. There's this huge debate conspiracy thing about whether the kid possessed Golden Freddy or whether he possessed a puppet or whatever. I guess completely went over people's heads that the kid just died. You know, like normal people do. But it's actually not that bad. It's tragic, you feel real sympathy for the kid, and then you get jump scared. Great. Exactly what I wanted anyways. That's worth 6 whole points. Okay. I'm gonna try and do this as calmly as possible. The first game is pretty simple as far as gameplay. Things appear on the right, so you close the door on the right. Thing appears on the left, close the door on the left. Watch the camera to make sure this fucking pirate asshole doesn't sprint down the hallway and rapes your ear holes. Watch the other camera so that this fuzzy bear prick doesn't jump scare you. Manage your power so you're not completely helpless, because if that shit runs out, then, well, you're fucked. There's nothing more to it than that. Unless you survive. Then you're good. Doesn't sound very hard, does it? Look, you all know by now these games are infamous for being way too hard for no fucking reason. That's why I'm only showing screenshots of this game as opposed to gameplay. I like having my brain cells, and I don't have any to donate to a 2-year-old game that's trying too hard to be scary.
What you say?
Yeah, I said it. Come at me, internet. This game is fucking hard, okay? Fucking sucks! Night 5, doable. Night 6, good luck. 420 mode, God help your soul. What the fuck am I rambling about? How good is the goddamn game? That's the question. As a horror game, this game doesn't really have a leg to stand on anymore. It gets old fast and becomes more frustrating and rage-inducing than anything else. And I'm not even going to mention how this game's community has dumbed it down by sexualizing and bastardizing it with their god-awful fan art. Yeah, I said it. Come on, fanbase, I'm right here. Fucking fight me! No one takes this shit seriously anymore. It's more of a meme than the horror genre than anything else at this point. As a strategy game, once you figure out the rules, it doesn't really care about that anymore. There's really not much you can do to strategize. It becomes more of a chore than anything, because when you die, you aren't really mad that you didn't do what you needed to do the way you needed to do it. You're mad because you have to start over. There's a lot of random variables that you as a player have no control over, so when you lose, sometimes it won't even be your fault. So strategy, what is that? This foxy asswipe can just decide to leave you alone one night, and then the next try, all he wants to do is make love to your door. He's just pelvic thrusting into the thing like there's a glory hole in it somewhere. You run out of power, and Freddy might do his long-ass song. He might give you a goddamn encore. And then the next time, he throws his mic into the crowd and just rams straight into your butthole. You can strategize, but it won't really do you too much good if the game decides to fuck you over anyways. It's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit! The game kind of plays itself for the most part, but what you do play requires stupid precision and reflexes, particularly near the end. The light switch is really, really small. You can't stare at the camera for more than 2 seconds or else something's gonna sneak up and fuck you. So in a nutshell, it's hard, okay? It's hard. You need insane focus, reflexes and speed and precision and shit, and don't play it. Don't play this game. I didn't do it. Fuck that. Fuck all that. No. No. That's not fair. That's not fair to the game. I hear you guys. You're all screaming at me right now. And that's okay. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and take the game for what it is. This game wants to be hard. And that's okay. A game being hard doesn't mean that it isn't good. Wait a damn minute. This is FNAF we're talking about. The fear is gone by the end, replaced with anxiety and panic. Unless you're into that, it's not very fun. It's pretty unfun, actually. To be a good and difficult game, there has to be a sense of fun. Games like Dark Souls, Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden, I don't know how people pronounce it, they're fun because they are hard. I have a blast playing those games. Most people will agree, the difficulty gives it charm. In Dark Souls, there is a legit payoff for defeating the bosses. In Ninja Gaiden, there is an insane rush of satisfaction after beating people. After the cutting people up, the slicing people in half, it's so satisfying. But this? There is no payoff. You get a star sprite on your screen. That's it. It's not worth it. It's not fun. It's nothing but a pain in the ass. I know that people legitimately love this game. There is a die-hard fan base that is going to crucify me for this video. And to them I say, burn me at the stake. Hang me by a noose. Nail me to a cross by my hands, feet, and groin. That won't change a damn thing. I know what the game wants to be, and it fails. 1 point. And there goes my voice, ladies and gentlemen. The voice is gone. Pretty much the exact same thing, except like 8 times harder. More douchey animatronics, more precision. It's just like, why? Why you gotta make it this hard? But from a horror game perspective, it's actually pretty solid. I mean, not anymore. But it definitely held up longer than the first one. The game had a way of shaking things up so it doesn't get stale as fast. The jump scare noises are high-pitched and annoying as shit. The mechanics are more polished, and the animatronic jump scares look more gruesome. I mean, it's still bullshit, Random variables are everywhere, everything stacks up onto itself, and there's nothing you can do at that point except decide which asshole you want to kill you first. Wind up these music box, flash the light at this thing, turn on the vent lights, mask time! It's fucking hard, dude, okay? Fuck! Strategy? Screw that! You just have to get lucky as shit and hope to God you don't fuck up. However, there is one thing that separates this game from its predecessors. There actually is a payoff for completing it. I mean, it's stupid, but at least it's something. You get some little plushy thingies on your desk, except you're never gonna want to look at this game ever again after you beat it, so what the fuck is the point of this? 4 points. That's it. They dialed back on the difficulty, and by difficulty I mean random luck. I mean, it's still hard as fuck, but it's not as hard. This game leaves a lot more room for strategy, as opposed to being perfect at the perfect time. As Markiplier said himself, it's like you're playing a game of chess with the motherfucker. It revolves around the story more than the actual gameplay, and because of that, this game is just so goddamn boring. More so than the other two. The game time was cut down to compensate for all the story shit and Easter eggs scattered throughout the game. I guess because Scott was all like, everybody would just want to see the rest of the secrets, so I'll just shorten the nights and get rid of one of the bonus nights. Hello, hello, hello! As far as actual gameplay, you watch the cameras, make a noise, and you try to keep this ugly fucking thing away from you. Something goes offline, we'll just fucking reset it. It's fucking easy. But apparently they tried to make it more vintage by buying a bunch of barely functional equipment. Like the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, by the way. 3 points. None of that camera bullshit this time. You walk up to the door, you listen for one of those assholes. If you hear them, well, you better shut that fucking door, Jack. Because if you don't, then, well, you get jump spooked. But that's not all. These little fucking shits appear on your bed, and you gotta flash them to get them to fuck off. No, not like flash with like boobies or something. I mean with your flashlight, you perv. And to add more to this deal, I'll throw in a free foxy for your closet. No charge. Symptoms may include heart attack or brain aneurysms. Or you can take what's behind game number 2. Your choice of Nightmare Fredbear or just Nightmare. They scuttle around and you have to keep track of them. And if you don't, then, well, I think you guys know what happens by now if you don't play Scott's game right. However, it does take an interesting mechanic. It's more focused on audio. Because of that, unless you get used to jump scares in general, this game will scare you for a long time. I mean, these animatronics look way too over the top, and that takes away from it a little, but, you know, whatever. It's like you think you're doing fine, and then boo! Roar! Ah, ah, ah. Oh. Guess I didn't scare you. 7 points, we're moving on. It lays down the foundation for the story. It also introduces some of the mysterious mysteries. It's really vague, so fragments of the story contained in this game don't come together well by themselves. They do tie into the series together though, and even though I gave this game a hard time about 5 minutes ago, I have to at least give it that. Don't get comfortable, Freddy. Don't look at me like that. Fuck. 5 points. FNAF 2 references some things brought up in the first game, and tell some new mysteries. It also shows us that the creator has no sense of adventure since the game is almost a mirror of the first one. I mean, I get it, the first game was a hit for some reason, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, so I won't scold you too badly for that. Still gonna have to talk some shit though. 3 points. Five Nights 3 brings closure to the original story. The purple guy is gone, the souls of the children have been set free, and Fazbear's Fright burned to the ground. Nothing is left of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, thank God, because I'm just about over this shit. 8 points. Five Nights 4 is a solid game that keeps the scares coming non-stop. But the original Five Nights story is already over, so there isn't really much more that it could contribute. I'll say it once, and I'm gonna need you guys to hear me out. I think that FNAF 4 does its own thing, and I mean its own thing in the sense that the kid we play as has nothing to do with anything in the aforementioned game. FNAF 4 creates its own story that happened long before the events of the first 3 games. It even says so right there on the TV. It creates its own story and wraps itself up within the game, while contributing to the series as a whole. However, the contribution itself is what we're looking at here, and there isn't much of it there, so 6 points. Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at fucking Freddy's. A game that I will never spend my money or time on. I haven't even seen that other piece of shit, FNAF World or whatever the fuck it is. It's fun to watch, sure, but playing it is something that it seems like you have to dedicate yourself to. And I ain't about to dedicate myself to getting jump spooked for 10 hours. Five Nights 1 gets stale within the first 3 nights and doesn't really offer anything new to itself. Once you get the rules down, the game kinda decides to throw the rule book at you, and then tell you to go fuck yourself. Five Nights 2 does the same thing, but at least it rewards you for getting through it and it makes an attempt to build onto itself. FNAF 3 is just boring. If you want the story shit, just look it up, because it's not, you don't have to waste your time and money on this. It's not worth the experience. FNAF 4 definitely holds on to the scares, replacing visuals with a more audio-centered experience. It just tries a little too hard. All this considered, the winner of this sequel deathmatch is Five Nights at Freddy's 4 of the final chapter. Superior sound, gameplay, and overall feel. It also cuts out the Easter eggs and tells you straight up, this is my game. This is what happens. This is the story. And that is how you craft the story of a horror game. All the theorists and all that, they're really overthinking it, trying to connect it to the other games. It does its own thing. That is how you craft the story of a horror game. You have to know why you're scared and why things are happening to truly feel immersed. And I think that's what really gets me the most about this game. The immersion. FNAF 4 is relatable. We all may not have been horribly crippled by our older siblings in an animatronic, but I'm willing to bet a lot if you can relate to believing monsters are in your closet or under your bed. You can relate to believing that adorable plushie in your closet is going to get you when your back is turned. You can relate to hearing something down the hallway, then rushing to close the door in fear, not knowing what to expect. And that is how you make a horror game. It only took Scott 4 tries to get it right. Well done, buddy. But from what I've seen, the sister location bullshit doesn't look very different from the first game. Looking forward to burning that one too. And now let's take a look at today's lowest scoring game, Five Nights 1. For finishing dead last, you will be sentenced to death by jump scare. Well, that's our deathmatch for today, folks. If you enjoyed, why not smash that like button? Or better yet, jump scare that subscribe button and be notified for when the next sequel deathmatch is up and ready for your viewing pleasure. Did you also know that I play video games myself on my own channel? I call it Lord Pyro 53. You can stop on by, take a look. I'll link it in the description. Especially if you think vulgarity is funny like I do. Thanks a ton for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time. And peace.